And we are live. Hello, good people of the internet. Hello to my A Better Way community. This is a very different live video. If you have already seen the title, I have titled it Day 1 of a 20-day life challenge. Now, a 20-day life challenge is something I've done before already. For those of you who have been with me for close to 2-3 years now, you would know that I've done this kind of a challenge before. I think this was 3 or 4 years back when Rocco Jaman first introduced me to this challenge. And the entire idea is to turn on your camera, go live every single day for the next 20 days, and just talk your heart out. I did it back in the day because that was needed for me to become comfortable in front of the camera, and it really did help. I mean, if I look at some of those old videos, I cringe myself, but it really did help. It helped me find a voice. It helped me find even more people who wanted to listen to, prudent, powerful thoughts. Now, this is another challenge that has been extended to me again by Rocco. I've been wanting to do this myself too. And the reason this time is not really just to find my voice, because I personally feel that I am at an elevated level now. I have my voice, I am aligned, I know what I'm talking about, I know why I'm talking about it, and I also know how to talk about it. So I'm doing all the right things. I believe I'm doing the better things. I'm aligning towards a better way. My purpose behind doing this time is firstly to get better at it. Of course, I always would want to keep getting better at it. The next thing I want to achieve with this is I want to harness the power of community. This is my own extension. I'm extending on top of this challenge. I want to challenge my community. I want to challenge better minded people via this life challenge. So, my challenge extended to everyone is that for the next 20 days, I challenge myself to come up on the internet. I will be doing this live on YouTube via a Better Way YouTube channel, but this will be syndicated across all social media platforms that I'm active on: Instagram, Facebook, I think LinkedIn as well. We'll see if we can get on to Substack, etc. also. But the challenge for me is to go live every single day for the next 20 days and talk about the most powerful, the most prudent, the most potent things that I can talk about, the most potent things that I'm sitting with, the questions that I'm meditating on. I'll challenge myself to that. And I challenge my community to help me get to more people, to help get more people in the community. So the YouTube channel right now sits at 7.5K subscribers. I want that by the end of these 20 days, we sit at 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 public subscribers. So that is the challenge I'm extending to my community here. I will come up every single day and talk about the most powerful, the most prudent, the most potent things that I can think of, that I'm thinking on, that I'm meditating on. And I invite my community to share this channel, this YouTube channel, with every single person that you can share this with. Share it in your WhatsApp groups, in your WhatsApp stories, Instagram groups, Instagram messages, Facebook pages. Share it in your LinkedIn. Share it wherever you think it's powerful enough to reach people, so that more people are aligned with the messages that I talk about here. And yes, with that in mind, let's get started with the challenge. So in fact, let me start this way. When I did this the first time around, all I used to do was I would wake up and I would have some rough idea of what I would was going to talk about, but then I would just turn on my camera and start talking about it. This time I'm going to do it slightly differently. I want to be a little more prepared with what I want to talk about, so that even if I'm talking about something live, I don't want to miss out on things that I want to say via that topic. So, with that in mind, today's topic is no one else is coming. No one else is coming. I want to start with a quote from a shlok from the Bhagavad Gita. Now, firstly, if you are here, if you're listening to this, if you're a Hindu, this shlok is not about Hinduism. I want you to understand that. And if you're not a Hindu, I want you to understand that this shlok is not about Hinduism. I want to stress this. I don't know how many times that this, whatever I'm about to say, is not about any particular religion. It's not about Hinduism because it was written in the Bhagavad Gita. It is applicable to humans. All right. So, with that in mind, let's get started. This is ironically the only shlok from the Bhagavad Gita that I have remembered from my childhood. I don't know how, I don't know why, but this is the only shlok that has stayed with me. I'm going to recite it first in Sanskrit, and then we are going to talk about its meaning and its application. Yada yada hi dharmasya glaanirbhavati Bharat, Abhyutthaanam adharmasya, tadaatmaanam srijaamyaham. What this means is, again, let me stress one more time, this is not about Hinduism. This is not about the religion of Hinduism. Hindus should realize that, and non Hindus should also realize that. The next thing I want to say is, let me talk about the meaning first, and then I'm going to talk about what I've written here. What this means is, Yada Yada hi dharmasya glaanirbhavati Bharat. Krishna is addressing Arjun, and he's telling him, whenever in this world there is a lot of adharma, a lot of non righteousness, a lot of adharma in this world, tadaatmaanam srijaamyaham. I come back, I manifest in this world to establish righteousness again, to establish dharma again. Now, this is Krishna saying this to Arjun. What I want you to understand is that this is not about establishing a dharma. This is not about establishing a religion. So Hindus should understand that this is not about establishing Hinduism throughout the world. Non-Hindus should also realize that this is not about establishing Hinduism throughout the world. This is not some revolutionary um, crusade that we want to run to establish Hinduism everywhere. This is not at all about that. What this is about it's about righteousness. I do not know how to pronounce this word, man. Righteousness. I hope you understand what I mean. Dharma. And by dharma, I'll get into this in a later video, what exactly this righteousness would mean. But let me just say, anything that moves your soul that is just purely human. Every human being, every single human being, provided that person is not a psychopath or a sociopath, understands what better is than worse. Just simply understands it. Every single person has a soul, whether that is corrupted by every single manifestation of adharm that you can think of, that's another story. But every single person knows deep down in their heart what is better than worse. To be more just is better than to be unjust. To have more equality, not in the sense of everyone making the same amount of money, but everyone having similar opportunities, everyone being treated in a similar manner, that is better than people not treating each other equally, than some people getting advantages while other people getting oppressed. Everyone knows, if you're not a psychopath, if you're not a sociopath, you know deep down in your heart that this is better than the worst thing. And why I'm leading with this particular shlok today is because I feel in 2025 there is just a lot of adharm in this world right now. I mean, where, what else do you want to see to understand that we need more dharma back in this world? We need more better ways back in this world. I mean, look at all the different manifestations of engagement and cooperation that people are engaged in right now. The corporate jobs that people are in, such meaningless work, such meaningless work, such absolute waste of time almost throughout the day for almost everyone that I know. I mean, I don't think I know anyone right now who says that they will keep working the job that they're working in if their bills were paid. I don't think I know anyone. Almost everyone is working in the jobs, in the corporate jobs that they're working in, using it as a means to an end, as a means to an end, because they don't really want to spend their day doing whatever they're doing in their corporate jobs. It's such meaningless trite that almost everyone is working it. And not to mention the fact that almost no company right now is solving a real problem. I mean, the biggest companies in the world are solving, some of them are solving problems. So I just don't want to overshadow the good work that is being done. But the majority of corporates right now, the biggest problem that they're solving is how to make more billions for the billionaires who already have a lot of billions, and they do not know what to do with the billions that they have. And the people who are working inside, some of them are millionaires already, they don't know what to do with the millions that they have rather than make more millions out of it. And then there is almost the cattle class, which uh, does not know anything else other than to make more money. That's the situation almost all corporates are in right now. And the work that is being done, the purpose to which the work is being done, is almost all meaningless. And of course, the thing that loses out in all of this is the human soul. And to even talk about the human soul has become almost a voodoo thing now. Almost everyone feels that if you're talking about being soulful at work, you're being impractical, you're being a person who does not understand how things are, you are an idealist who wants things the way they should be. Well, yeah, I'll just leave this corporate problem at that. We've talked about corporates. Talking about politics, it's another area where human beings coordinate, and I don't think anyone who's not living under a cave, everyone would understand that politics is almost a lost cause now. I mean, I remember back in the day when politicians used to be corrupt, but they used to be corrupt. They used to be ashamed of being corrupt. It used to at least being done behind closed doors. It was almost hidden behind the public eye. And now it's almost all out in the open. I mean, we hear reports of parties buying politicians from other parties just outrightly. There are political parties advertising their achievements, the achievements of other parties as well, and achievements of their own parties via ads that they're running on social media all over the place, as if they are a business. And we all know how advertisements run. You create a narrative that you want to create, and you move out paths, you leave out paths that you do not really to want anyone to know. We know how advertisements are. Shah Rukh Khan does not really use the perfumes that he advertises of, so those advertisements are a lie. Our political parties advertise like businesses right now. They run like businesses. And we've almost also normalized the fact that a government should run like a business. If a government keeps running like a business, they will only care about the top line, which means that the biggest companies, the biggest players in that country, in the world, keep getting bigger and bigger. And the lower ones, at least the country is growing, so you must be proud of your government, you must be proud of the political party that you voted for. That, I feel it is a lost cause now. And not to talk about the fact that there is so much polarization in the world. Unless you're living under a rock, you should see polarization in the world, because there is left versus right, and these two factions of a society cannot agree on anything anymore. There is only divergence to be had here. There is We cannot even agree on something that impacts everyone. The fact that there is global climate change happening, two people can't agree on the reality of climate change anymore. It should be beyond politics, but we have made even the danger of climate change, we have made it a political issue as well. If you do not understand how desperate that situation is, I think you want to stay away from social media. Anyhow, so we did corporates, we did politics. We're going to talk about technological developments. I mean, there is so much happening so fast around AI. Uh, People, no one knows how to orient themselves anymore in such a fast changing world. It is really a situation where you can see that the paradigms within which we were operating, even in our corporate jobs, they're about to be shattered completely. And we have no ways to orient ourselves better towards what is going to happen. Talking about relationships, oh my god, I mean, again, unless you're living under a rock, you would know how much the paradigm of relationships is broken right now. I mean, Tinder is a social abomination. Love is being traded as if it's a community, as if it's a commodity. You swipe left or swipe right, you are shown love as if it's a product on a social media app, and you swipe right or you swipe left, etc. Loneliness is a real thing. Both men and women want to have a better relationship, but both of them are also scared of getting into a relationship where they get simply screwed up. And it's a real thing. Men are afraid to step up as real men, women are afraid to step up as real women. And no one seems to care about trying to converge these factions. Everyone is trying to create their own silos and live in their own silos and keep distracted by the social media apps that they've installed in their phones. And then talking about religion and spirituality, that definitely used to be a shining light in our world. And it's almost as if it's completely eroded. We have normalized the fact that a lot of people think that to be spiritual is to be voodoo, and therefore we are not going to think anywhere close to it. They don't realize that what ends up losing is their own soul. Because if you don't have anything spiritualistic in the sense of your connection with life with a capital L, if you do not have that aspect of your life active anymore, you become a machine, you become a robot. And human beings can't work like robots anymore. all of these problems that you're seeing in your workplace, in your relationships, in your marriages, in your families right now, in your societies, in your communities, is because of the fact that we have almost eroded away this segment of our life, and we have become almost too left brained, almost too much like a machine, that this is how you have to operate. This is the machine, that this is the machine of human beings, and human beings cannot operate like machines anymore. Religions and spirituality, they have a role to play in our society, but what we are seeing out there is almost all bad examples of religion and spirituality being practiced. And therefore that is another paradigm that I think simply needs to go away, in the sense that we need to transcend that paradigm as well. And now all of what I've talked about is the worst situation that we are in 2025. That is the adharm I was talking about, that is almost rampant in 2025. And the shlok that I talked about says, yada yada hi dharmasya glaanirbhavati bharata. Every time there is a decline in righteousness in this world, yada yada hi dharmasya glaanirbhavati bharata abhyutthaanam adharmasya tadaatmaanam srijaamyaham. Krishna says, every time there is a decline in righteousness, I manifest myself in this world to stop the adharm and to establish dharma again. Now, like I mentioned before, this is not an invitation to Hindus to establish Hinduism all over the place. This is something that Hindus and non Hindus both should realize. But what this is an invitation to establish dharma. And what this is an invitation to not consider it literally, in the sense that this is the next thing that you should understand about this shlok. A lot of times when we hear a shlok such as this, we feel as if there is a God, there is a Krishna who will come into this world and save us all. And therefore, it's not my responsibility. Krishna will come and save it. Let me just keep making more money for myself. Let me just keep acting the fucking selfish way I always act. And I'm excused because it is the duty of dharma. It's the duty of Krishna to come over and rescue us. Krishna is not coming. God is not coming. What I mean is, there is no one else who is coming into this world to save us all. The real invitation is to manifest Krishna, is to manifest that godliness, that righteousness in your life. That is how you will become a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. That is the real invitation here. And the real invitation is to embody God, to be the God. And when we talk about such a massive paradigm shift, such a massive level of adharm in the society, across all of those dimensions that we talked about, the technological developments, the corporate jobs, the religions, the spirituality, the relationships, the politics, all the rest of them, across all as avenues of our cooperation in our society, there is a lot of adharma right now. And of course, there are no right or wrong ways to solve such complex problems. There are no single ways to solve those problems. But you know what we should understand? There are better and worse ways to look at those problems. There are better and worse ways, definitely, to even talk about solving those problems. And I want to care about the better ways. And one of the better ways is via this shlok, to understand that it is us, it is human beings like us who will course correct humanity. Humanity always course corrects itself, it always does, but it does so via human beings like us. And therefore, we need to step up. Unless we step up, there is no one else coming to rescue us all. That will never happen. That is something Christians should realize. That is something Muslims should realize. That is something Hindus should realize. All the other religions. That's something the left should realize. The right should realize. That's something men should realize. Women should realize. That's something, every single dichotomy that you can think of, wherever you lie on that scale, you have to transcend that fight. You have to transcend that dichotomy to solve the problem. If you don't do that, if you keep being the hateful person that you are towards the other side, you are a part of the problem, not a part of the solution. And now if you ask me what is the solution, I just said there is no singular solution. What I can tell you is, what are the problems? I have told you them already. What are the solutions? We have to think about the solutions. We have to think about better ways towards the solutions. And one of the worst ways to approach a problem such as this, to be a part of the problem, to be a part of one single group that is only pulling the thread, that is not allowing the entire problem to be transcended, that is to be a part of the problem. And it is a matter of choice to not be a part of the problem anymore. That's where I leave you. Yada yada hi dharmasya glaanirbhavati Bharat Abhyutthaanam adharmasya tadaatmaanam srijaamyaham. Krishna will manifest to stop adharma, to establish dharma, but Krishna can only do that via you. You are the Krishna who has to rise up, who has to rise up out of all of these different dichotomies that we are so caught up in, and then help solve the problem. Not being a part of the problem is the first step, being a part of the solution is the second step. And that understanding all of this is, I think, my way of manifesting a better way in this world. So this is what I'll say. And I'll end it with something more. There are, I think, three ways to approach this entire thing. One is the pessimistic way, where you say, fuck it, man, nothing ever changes, so why even bother? The second way is the optimistic way, where you say, "Man, humanity always course corrects itself. It's all gonna be rosy. It's anyway already fine. So yeah, we don't need to really do anything." Pessimistic and optimistic. And the third way is the realistic way, where we understand that things don't simply never change. Things don't simply just change. Things change when we take conscious efforts. At least such complex problems do not just solve by themselves. I in fact don't know whether we can avoid a disaster going forward. But what I definitely know is, as of 2025, as of April 2025, we can definitely align ourselves towards a better way, so that when a disaster strikes, if and when a disaster strikes, we know what is a better way of dealing with such disasters. That's the invitation here. So that is my day one of my 20-day life challenge. Again, I will reiterate, I'm not doing this challenge this time only to find my voice. I'm definitely trying to find my voice, a better voice via this challenge. But the real purpose of this challenge for me this time is so that we harness the power of a better way community. So that is the real challenge here, guys. If you are here, if you're listening to this right now, I'm doing this live on YouTube, but I'll be syndicating it to all the different social media platforms that I can syndicate it on. I want to challenge you to help this message reach 10,000 people. We are at a 7.5K subscribers right now on a Better Way YouTube channel. I wish that the community can step up and help this message, help these messages reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of these 20 days. So that's it. That's where I leave you with. You know how you can play your part. Like this video, whichever platform you're on. Comment on this video, whichever platform you're on. It helps with the engagement. Share this video with your friends and family. Share the YouTube channel with your friends and family, with your community, in your WhatsApp groups, WhatsApp stories, Instagram groups, Instagram messages, Instagram stories, Facebook. There are so many avenues where you can actually impact a change if you make a conscious choice to actually do that. That's it. That's it. There is a better way calling you out. If you're sick and tired of all the different avenues where human beings are operating like machines, where human beings are operating in a soulless manner, and you wish there to be a change in that particular avenue at least, make sure that you help a better way reach more people, because I can assure you no one else is coming. Until next time, peace out.